Boom. Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about CCIV, or soon to be Lucid Motors, via a SPAC merger. We kicked off the trading week with some exciting price action, which does lead me to believe that short-term bullish sentiment is definitely there. And I'm excited to give you guys some of my thoughts around how I think this could play out from here. Alright, so let's get straight into it. As always, we'll quickly go over a couple of the topics we'll be discussing, and then we'll dive in. So in front of us, Trading View, where we'll be talking technicals and price targets on CCIV today from a short, medium, and longer term time horizon. But before we dive into the charts, I want to go over the short article with you guys by Investor Place titled Churchill Capital Corp 4 stock is all about the huge potential underlying Lucid Motors. So great article, short, sweet, to the point, reminds us of why Lucid as a company is an appealing play at this point in time. But as we move down, it goes into a very important question moving forward, which is CCIV stock and the Tesla challenge. So CCIV, or Lucid Motors versus Tesla. This pretty much just goes into a few of the actual product features when it comes to Lucid's cars and the advantages that they might have over Tesla as we move into the future, okay? So again, very, very important, very relevant argument in my opinion when gauging Lucid Motors, almost said CCIV, soon to be Lucid, but Lucid Motors as a company, once again, as we move forward from here, okay? So read over this first, dive into the charts, again, establish that nice fundamental bullish base layer for our technical bull argument. But before we do any of that, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're bullish on CCIV or Lucid Motors like I am. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. Always exciting covering the green energy EV sector. And if you do want to know exactly how I'm personally playing trading CCIV, along with many other very exciting plays in the EV green energy sector that you can see on the watch list, plus many more. Literally an exact breakdown of my entire portfolio: call options, put options, stock positions, crypto positions. Even though crypto is a little slow right now, that's all right. There's always a bull market somewhere, and that is EVs and green energy, in my opinion. $15 a month. First link down below, complete portfolio daily newsletter. Again, complete breakdown on my entire portfolio that I do update every single trading day during market hours. And along with every portfolio update, I do send out an email newsletter explaining my thoughts, throwing some charts in there, throwing in some price targets in real time. So if you guys are interested, once again, it means a lot if you guys check that out. Do my best to make that worth your guys' time and hard-earned money. So once again, it means a lot. First link down below. If not, I appreciate you guys watching now. Let's get into this article and then once again, dive into some of the technicals on the charts. So Churchill Capital 4, again, looking very promising right now, especially with this merger coming up. 10 days, you guys. So stay on your toes, okay? Churchill Capital 4, or CCIV, the SPAC that is soon to be merging with Lucid Motors, has seen renewed interest in its stock lately. CCIV stock had reached a bottom price of about $17.50 before nearly doubling to $27. Clearly, the hype and momentum is starting to gather around the stock. It's easy to see why with the upcoming launch of the Lucid Air. Beautiful car, by the way. If you guys haven't looked at their cars, their actual cars, we did look at them a month or so ago in my initial CCIV solo analysis, but absolutely sick cars. Go check them out if you guys haven't seen them yet. It will make you that much more bullish on the stock. Lucid has made the conscious decision to exclusively target the high-end luxury market. That's probably the single aspect of this company that makes me so bullish on them moving forward, like targeting that niche demographic of the luxury market. So smart. For its vehicles, last year Lucid unveiled the Air, a pure electric high-end luxury sedan. The company claims that the Lucid Air will be the most advanced electric vehicle in the market with unmatched performance. The starting price for the lineup is $77,400 or $69,900, taking into account tax credits, which is a fairly large chunk of change. This puts the Lucid Air roughly the same price range as Tesla's Model S. So how does the Lucid Air stack up to the Model S? Pretty well, actually. CCIV stock in the Tesla challenge, again, important argument. The Lucid Air boasts some truly impressive specifications and features. The Lucid Air can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, making it the fastest car on record when announced last year. That's insane. Lucid claims that its car can consistently run a quarter mile in 9.9 seconds. This speed has been recently surpassed by Tesla's $130,000 Model S Plaid, its top-of-the-line sedan, The Model S Plaid can go from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and run a quarter mile in 9.25. The Lucid Air still holds a few key advantages over its competitors, namely in the form of its expected range of 517 miles on a single charge, which is very, very impressive. This is much higher than the Model S Plaid's expected 390 miles of range. Furthermore, Lucid's advanced driver assistance system has a sensor suite that includes high-resolution LiDAR. Elon Musk famously called LiDAR a fool's errand. However, this technology is widely seen as a key building block for smart cars and smart cities. I believe adopting LiDAR at the very start gives Lucid a long-term advantage over Tesla in the realm of autonomous driving. Lucid is ramping up its execution. Last paragraph here, you guys, and then we'll move into the technicals. Lucid has done a pretty good job building its brand and drumming up hype for the Lucid Air. The company ran a television campaign last January to generate buzz and excitement for the car. Lucid also hilariously bought a television spot right after Elon Musk's introductory monologue on Saturday Night Live. If you guys caught that, I'll remember that. This is hilarious given the fact that Elon Musk is a troll himself, okay? So, again, Elon Musk, good at many things. Being a troll is definitely one of them, okay? So, again, you guys, very, very bullish. Once again, the merger is expected to come up. The vote is on the 22nd. It will be applied. There will be straight up Lucid stock on July 23rd if all goes accordingly. So once again, stay on your toes. Let's talk some technicals again. Monday, at the time of recording, July 12th, kicking off the week up 5%, definitely outperforming the remainder of the EV/green energy sector, which you absolutely love to see. Once again, I love seeing this type of price action on Mondays because it just sets that momentum. It sets the tone for the week ahead of us and the weeks ahead of us. Once again, this is happening in 10 days. So it's coming up quick, you guys. Make sure, like with space, I wrote about this in the newsletter this morning, like with the space thing, like with Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic going to the atmosphere. It's important to remember, you guys, that as this week and next week progress, as we move over this week, as we move towards the date of the merger itself, more and more people, especially if we do continue to see this exciting price action, a lot of green, this will attract more eyes. We're not quite seeing the volume I want to see just yet. So that does give me the inclination that we haven't really seen things really start to pick up yet, seeing the hype really start to build around this, because I don't think a whole lot of people, especially when you go back in time and look at some of the volume we saw around here, a lot of people really just, even people who invested in CCIV or traded CCIV way back when CCIV really popped off back in February of this year, are even getting back into the stock. So again, I do want to see more volume. Once we start seeing volume, that's what I'm going to say, like, start to think about putting my foot on the brakes a little bit. But for now, still early. I still think there's a lot of upside ahead. So let's kick it off with short term and then move on to more medium term price action. All right. So right now, again, just today, over the past couple of days, it really makes me feel good to see that after we broke this line of support right here, this cyan line, the line of support on the current shorter term uptrend beginning May 14th. So this has actually been in play for a couple of months now already, for almost 2 months. So very strong line of support here. We got one 4-hour candle that dipped below it, but it did end up closing right back above it, which is what I like to see. We did not actually see a closure, which did also at the same time just set a higher low on the current uptrend. So again, high, low, higher high, established a higher low right here on this little base area right here, this nice floor, and we just set a higher low after seeing today's price action. Okay, so I have to expect we will see a higher high next. It only makes sense to me that higher high is going to be higher than the last high at around $30. So I do expect on this current run up to break at least $30, and my current short-term price target, like I'm expecting over the next 7 trading days, is going to be up here around $35, $36. Why is this? Okay, so this is the price range right here, which is about a 34% price increase from our closing price today at about 26, just under 27 bucks. Okay. So when it comes to that price target, the reason for that is because that's a very base of this massive gap. So as you can see right here, CCIV went absolutely ballistic, absolute hype, absolute FOMO. You see this is a straight up bubble in itself. Bubble pops, you see a burst, a gap down, so crazy. This is probably one of the craziest gaps that I've ever seen in all the charts I've ever looked at. This gap down all the way from 55 down to about $40. Crazy percentage gap right there, okay? So massive gap. If you guys aren't familiar with gap trading, I'm not super, I do put weight on gaps. Dude, let's get rid of that guy. I do put fundamental weight on, I should say, like, it's fundamental and technical at the same time. Again, like all charts are, is kind of psychology mirrored onto as a visual. So gaps do tend to fill themselves if we do get into kind of that blue sky territory, which Lucid's doing now as we've executed this reversal. So at the very least, I do think Lucid will fill this gap. This is the very base of the gap, but I would not be surprised at all by the merger. Again, if everything goes accordingly, if we see that price action, if we see a lot of hype, if we see these traders who were in Lucid come back, or CCIV I should say, soon to be Lucid. If we do see some of this capital flow back into this stock, I have no reason to believe that we can at least come up to about 40 bucks prior to, I mean, maybe even executing the merger. But if, once again, everything goes accordingly, would not be surprised at all to see this happen as the merger, after the merger continues. Okay, so that from here, from current levels, once again, just under 27 bucks would be about 50% increase to $40. That is really the base of that gap. But you guys, the big thing is if we break $40, there's pretty much nothing going on around here. You can see the only time Lucid was in it, there's like 2 4-hour candles. There's 1 4-hour candle actually where Lucid was actually above $40, like in this range prior to reaching its all-time high of about, what, 65 bucks. So if we do break $40 from a technical perspective, we're pretty much in blue sky, and there's very, very little resistance after 40 bucks. So if we do successfully say like 42 bucks just to play it safe, if we close above 42 bucks, I would not be surprised at all to see a jump in a very, very short period of time to $50, okay? So after that, of course, it's kind of hard to gauge where we'd go. Obviously, after we break these levels, CCIV really hasn't spent much time above the $50 level, aside from a couple of days up here where it was topping out prior to the bubble popping. But again, you guys, I've been saying this as we've been covering CCIV, as we've been covering the shorter term reversal. This looks to me like a good old two-wave theory, okay? So two-wave theory. First wave up. You see that FOMO, you see the hype. I've seen this in so many of the bubbles I played in the past, whether it's biotechs, crypto, cannabis, all the good stuff. You see that hype, you see that FOMO, you see the buy the hype, sell the news event, which is, again, be careful for that. But because this is very, very likely to happen, I think that if this goes successfully, this will just be like a buy the hype, buy the news event. So again, two-wave theory, first wave up, bubble pops, you see it crash, you see that capitulation, and usually the second wave, once we start that reversal, once we execute that next wave, it's going to be stronger, it's going to be larger than the first wave. So it would not surprise me at all if everything goes absolutely accordingly. Again, you guys, this is very optimistic, but it would not surprise me at the same time to see a break of $65, to see a break of the previous all-time high, which is, again, was just set back in February, just about half a year ago. So because the fundamentals are there, because again, CCIV, from what we've just read, and the more research you do on this company, the more research and due diligence I've done on this company, the more bullish I become on it, okay? So again, Lucid, if you guys haven't looked at the cars yet, go check out how sick those things are. Almost should have brought them up here, but we'll cover those next time. You guys can just go Google it if you want to. I'll put one of the cars in the thumbnail for this video so you guys can at least check that out, I guess. But very, very bullish on CCIV when it comes to like those longer term price targets, you guys. I did say long term in the beginning, but for right now, I'm just focused on kind of this gap right here. Once we fill this gap and once we break some of these levels, I'm going to be stoked because I'm so heavily invested in it right now, and I hope you guys are as well. I don't hope you're invested in it, but I hope you are stoked if you are. And we'll cross the longer term bridges once we come to them, because as of right now, this is one of the stocks in the entire market that I'm the most bullish on, and I'm very, very excited to see how the next 10 days play out. Once again, if you do want to know exactly how I'm trading CCIV, as well as just, again, all the names you see on the watch list right here, there's a lot of other names in the portfolio as well. Check out Complete Portfolio Daily Newsletter, 15 bones. First link down below, and let me know in the comments down below what you guys think is the most exciting play in the market right now. It doesn't even have to be EVs, but again, you guys, there's always a bull market somewhere. Got a lot of earnings, got a lot of huge big cap, like bank earnings, like big tech earnings happening right now. So those will heavily dictate the general sentiment of the overall market environment. And again, because the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow have just been ripping, reaching new all-time highs pretty much every day. Stocks only go up. If those do start to cool down a little bit, and we do see capital flow out of those names, that makes me even more bullish on these, because that capital is going to want to fly somewhere, and the EV green energy sector is such a good candidate for that, especially the small caps. Again, small market caps, CCIV is actually one of the larger plays on this watch list when it comes to market cap at about $7 billion, but still, in the grand scheme of things, that's a drop in the bucket when it comes to the greater markets, okay? So let's see that perfect storm for EVs right now. Trust me, I'm prepared for it. Money's always on. Money's always where my mouth is. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you're bullish on EVs and green energy right now, and what your single favorite stock in the market is right now. Okay, so I'll catch you guys downstairs in the comments. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.